What's good, everybody, man? Welcome to another episode of Talking Sports with Manny. This is the Lakers post-game show. The Lakers just defeated the Charlotte Hornets tonight, and it was a weird game. I can't say that it was a game that I was excited to watch. It was definitely boring to me, but the main goal for our Lakers is that we won this game, and I'm going to kind of get into the game. I'm going to talk about a few players and talk about their impact on this game and the impact on these players moving forward. You know, without AD, without LeBron, you have these guys that are out here performing, and it's only going to help them when they get into the postseason. So, like I said, very, very good game. You're getting guys to get experience. THT, I'm going to start with him. He had his first start, not his first start, but he had another start today, and he was able to play well. So I can't fault him for what he did today. He has times where he plays very, very well. Then he has times where he shows that, hey, he's practically still a rookie. So you look at what he did today. He played 23 minutes, shot 8 shots, made 2. Was 1 for 6 from 3. He shot too many threes for my liking, but it was just kind of the defense that the Hornets were playing. They played a very good zone, and that zone took the Lakers out of their offense. So the Lakers couldn't shoot themselves out of this zone, but I mean, they made a decent percentage. They shot 44 threes and made 16 of them. That's 36%. My goal for the Lakers every time when they play is shoot at least 35%. When you shoot 35%, especially for this team, the way that they're built, they have a higher success rate of, winning games. So he had 4 assists. He had a bunch of turnovers. I'm going to give you the exact amount of turnovers that THT had. Let me see. Oh, he had 0 turnovers, but I guess it's the bonehead plays. Like when you're watching the game, it seemed like he had turnovers. But technically, he didn't have any. But he had some plays that didn't really look right. He had some shots that he took that were pretty much like turnovers. So I'll say his performance tonight, I'll give him maybe a C minus. We go to Caldwell Pope. KCP played 34 minutes. He was 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. So he didn't shoot the 3 well, but he was aggressive. He made some plays, made all of his free throws, had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, no steals. Most times KCP, steps up and gets some steals for the team, but he didn't do that tonight. Dennis Schroeder had a good game, 36 minutes. He was like that steady force, that guy that continued to score consistently for the Lakers. He had 19 shots. He made 8 of them. He was 3 for 7 from 3, 40%. That's great. Anytime a player can shoot 3 for 7, that's solid. That's 40%. Okay, so I'll take that any day of the week. He had 4 rebounds, and he also had 6 assists. He had 1 turnover, which is good because Dennis has been prone to turning over the ball. So he did very, very well, controlling the pace of the game. And, 19 big points. We move on to the next player, Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond was making me mad this game. I'm not even going to lie. Like, it seemed like for this short stint that Andre Drummond has been with the Lakers, he seems to be a player that plays with a lot of power. Yes, I've seen Drummond play before, but I have not seen him play recently. He's been on bad teams and things of that nature. So I really got to get an extended look at Drummond. Drummond is a player that's going to back you down in the post, right? He'll bang, bang. Then when he turns for that hook shot, he's either far away from the rim or he's trying to overpower somebody. And a lot of times that creates offensive fouls. So let's look at what Drummond did tonight. He took 7 shots. He made 2 of them. Okay. It seemed like his hands were very bad today. He couldn't catch all of the easy bounce passes. He couldn't catch a lot of the, passes that his teammates were, giving him. A lot of times, it was a pick and roll. It was too low for him to handle. There were times when he tried to get offensive rebounds and he couldn't. He just seemed kind of off today. He couldn't rebound well. And I'm going to get into what the Hornets did rebound-wise. And a lot of that was Drummond not really rebounding well. Now, granted, he had 12 rebounds, okay? 8 of those was on the defensive side. 4 of those was on the offensive side. But he should have had 25 rebounds. honestly. I mean, there were so many rebounds that slipped out of his hands, but, he did give him 12. He had 3 steals. He has active hands, but he didn't catch the ball, but he had active hands on defense. So I'll take the 3 steals. He was a steady force for the Lakers. He had no blocks, but he altered some shots. There were times when, the Hornets will drive and he'll just, lift his hands up and just absorb that hit. So a lot of things didn't go his way this game. He had 4 fouls. So, he was in a bit of a foul trouble, so to speak. So, yeah, Drummond's performance tonight, man, I don't know, man. I'll give him a C- just for the fact that he had 12 rebounds. I got to give him some credit there. We move on to Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma played 34 minutes. He shot 18 times and made 7 of them. He was 4 for 12 from 3. He shot too many threes, man. Kuzma gets in these games and these rhythms where he feels like he needs to shoot the 3. You can give a pump fake, drive in, and take a mid-range jumper, but he is not doing that. He knocked down all of his free throws, which is good. He had 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 24 points. So that 24 points was big. He was the leading scorer for the Lakers. He was aggressive, so you can't fault him there. So I'm glad that at least he was aggressive. Now we go to the bench. Aaron McKinney came in and gave the Lakers a big spark in the first half. 9 minutes, shot 6 times, made 3 shots, made 2 threes, 2 big threes. And like the way that he just caught the ball and shot it, you'll think that McKinney is a natural 3-point shooter. So that was great. He had a great game, 2 rebounds, 1 offensive rebound. One thing that he's done very, very well is rebound the ball. So Lakers have been looking for a 3-and-D type wing, and McKinney's that. McKinney is that, and he just needs minutes. So pretty much we swapped JaVale McGee for McKinney. Solid pickup. 8 big points. Montrezl Harrell had a great March. He was averaging 19 points a game. And in April, he's averaging like right around 7 points a game. So what is the biggest drop-off for Montrezl Harrell? Why is it that he had such a great March and he's having a terrible April? Could be like some rotation problems. Maybe that he's not playing with Schroeder as much. Maybe the THT is not finding him. That pick and roll is not working with Harrell. Even when he has the ball, he'll throw it away sometimes. Sometimes the connection that he had in March is not there. Montrezl Harrell is still going to be a very good player come playoff time. I'm not worried about that. But off recent, he's been a little off. He played 24 minutes. He gave them 6 points and 5 rebounds, which is solid, but it's not the Montrezl Harrell that we all know and love. Next player I want to talk about is Wesley Matthews. Wesley Matthews had 7 points. He's been solid. Fans hate on Wesley Matthews, but he's been solid. He's been all right, I'm back on the stream. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I was saying that Wesley Matthews had ample time to guard Julius Randle last game, and he did very, very well. Wesley Matthews is a guy that plays with his upper body strength. He's not gonna wow you with his lateral quickness. He's a defender that uses his muscles, his strength to defend. So he played very, very solid today. He was a +7 on the plus minus, which I don't really look into plus minuses that much. But Caruso was a +21. And there was a time when it was a 6-point game. Caruso came down and hit a clutch 3. This Wi-Fi is terrible. So Caruso had 3 when it was like a 9-point game. game. I mean, a 6-point game to send it back to 9. And then at the end of the game, it was very, very close. 1-point game, 1-point lead. Caruso came down, knocked down that big three. He ended up with 13 points. He shot the three very, very well tonight. He was 4 for 6 from 3. 4 for 6 overall, 3 for 5 from 3. Big game, had 6 assists, 2 rebounds, and had a steal. Caruso is a plus 27 on the plus minus. Caruso is just a smart player. I don't know how he does it, but he's just always in the right place. He's not the most athletic player, even though that he's athletic. He's not the best defender, but he defends. He's not the best shooter, but he's decent. He's okay. He's an okay shooter. But one thing I can say about Caruso is that, he's going to give it his all. He's going to give it his all. And you're not going to see a lot of turnovers out of Caruso. Ben McLemore played 17 minutes. He was okay. He was 2 for 5 overall, 1 for 3 from 3, and 5 points. So overall, there was a big team win, although you're playing the Charlotte Hornets. But when you look at the Lakers, they look like the Hornets pretty much. There's no star caliber player on that team. You can say Andre Drummond. I get it. He's still in a new system. He's still getting acclimated to both the defensive side and the offensive side of what Frank Vogel likes to do. So you can't just say that Drummond, is a game changer in terms of you're going to get all-star production out of him every night. That's not the case. From every now and again, you're going to get a 20-10 or a 20-20 out of Drummond. But to expect a 20-10 from Drummond every single week, that's not the case. That's not going to happen. But like I said, solid win from Kuzma to the role guys to the bench guys. It's all role guys. Everybody who played tonight is a role player for the Lakers. Lakers have 2 legit superstars in LeBron and AD who are coming back within the next 3 weeks. And all this did, going 4-3, right? Going 4-3 with no LeBron and no AD on this 7-game road trip. That was big. That was big. I can't complain. I can't get mad. All this does is help the Lakers stay afloat, because once LeBron and AD gets back, then it's the whole chemistry thing. Hopefully they have 10 games to kind of work with these guys and kind of gel, because if you don't have chemistry, it's going to be tough. And if you guys remember last year in the bubble, when the season started again, and the Lakers were, doing all those pre-games or those, I guess it was like what would you call it? It was like 8 games that you play to get ready for the actual playoffs or whatever. So those games didn't really count, but it was games to kind of get you warmed up. It was like a preseason, right, for the bubble. They're going to need 10 games. Lakers are going to need 10 games with everybody healthy to at least get into a groove, to kind of see what works, what doesn't work. So when you look back at the games the Lakers have played, let's look at the schedule. Let's look at these 7 games, because honestly, I didn't see a 4-3 record, especially with, Drummond with the toe and Kuzma with this and that. It just seemed like injuries kept piling up and piling up and piling up. So to come out, out of this 7-game road trip with a 4-3 record, that was great. So they played the Sacramento Kings. Okay, they won that game. Then they played the Clippers. They lost that game. It wasn't even close. It was a beat down. They played Toronto. It was a rout. I was like, wow. I mean, I was shocked at that game. Horton Tucker had 17 that game. Then they played Miami, and, they lost that game. They should have won that game. KCP had a great game. He had 28 points. They still lost. Then they played Brooklyn on Saturday, and they won that game with a lot of guys missing. Drummond had that 20-10 game. Then they played last night against New York and lost. That game was close, but it just kind of seemed like the Lakers really never had a handle on that game. Then they played tonight versus Charlotte and won. So it's pretty much they won, lost, one, lost, one, lost, one, lost. So, I mean, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. It was some games that were close that they should have won. But yeah, 4-3 is an excellent way to end the road trip. Now, looking forward, the Lakers play the Celtics on Thursday on TNT. That's going to be a big game. Right now, the Celtics are playing versus Portland, and I'm hoping that Boston wins this game. It's the only time you're going to hear me say that I want Boston to win. I need Boston to win this game, because if they win this game, then they come into Thursday not angry or relaxed. You want to catch the Celtics when they're relaxed because they do have two really good players. They might not be superstars yet, but Jason Tatum is coming. Jaylen Brown is right there. So Thursday night, Lakers Celtics. That should be a good game. Hopefully the Lakers continue to make shots. But the good thing about playing the Celtics is there's no threat on the inside. It's a perimeter-oriented offense, but they play pretty solid defense, especially Marcus Smart. So that's going to be a good game. And then Saturday and Monday, they play Utah, both at home. So this next 3-game stretch is going to be tough. They need to win it. After these 3 games, then they play Dallas twice in Dallas, Orlando, Washington. That's going to be another 4-game road trip that's going to be tough, even though they, spending a night in Dallas. But, yeah, man, the outlook of how things look right now is tough. It seems like AD might be available for that Saturday game on the 24th. There's a possibility that AD comes back on the 24th, and then LeBron probably comes back the first week of May to go ahead and try to win out these last few games and kind of get some chemistry going. But there's also a possibility that LeBron might come back early. But I'm all about, hey, let these guys get healthy. Let these guys be fully healed and healthy in order to pursue the playoffs. Now the playoffs, the season ends 5-16. So if we continue winning 4 out of 7 games, 3 out of 6 games, 3 out of 7 games, I think we'll be okay, and we'll get to avoid playing in the playing game. The playing game is something that, honestly, I don't want no parts of that. Because you don't know what you don't know. It's like, God forbid, an injury or something crazy happens. Not that, the Lakers will be afraid of playing and beating some of the bottom dwellers of the NBA, but it's just, trying to avoid that. If you can avoid that, the better. So I say 6 seed and higher, perfect. I'm going to pull up the standings and kind of see where we are as of tonight. So the Lakers are 34-21, and they're 1 game away from the 4th seed. That's great. So as of right now, it seems like Lakers are going to be playing Denver in the first round if the season ended today. And like I've said before, I think Denver is the second best team in the West after the Lakers. You got the Clippers there as well. But I think the Clippers are playing tonight, and I think they're losing. So you definitely want to see if you can sneak up into the top 3 seeds. But they got to they have to do work come Thursday, come Saturday. Come these next 7 games, you got to go another 4-3 to have a chance at that 4th seed. Home field advantage does not really matter. Everybody's going to have limited crowds. What does matter is the travel. You might not want to go from LA to Dallas or LA to Utah, whatever the case may be. So right now we're looking good. Not only should the Boston Celtics win tonight, they should win tonight to also knock down the Blazers. So yeah, for tonight, for right now, I can say that I'm rocking with the Celtics, because if Portland wins, then we are 2 games above Portland, which is good. We need Dallas to continue to lose. We need Memphis to continue to lose. But the biggest threat right now is Portland. We need those guys to continue to lose, and we need Denver to start losing. But oh man, Jamal Murray, man, prayers up for you, man. That was a tough injury, and I hate injuries for anybody. That Jamal Murray injury changes the outlook of the playoffs, because not only is he going to be gone for this season, he might be gone for the beginning of next season. So losing Jamal Murray is huge. Monte Morris is going to try his best. Capazzo is going to try his best, but those guys are not Jamal Murray. We all know that Jamal Murray is a big-time player. I said Denver was the second best team. With that injury, it's debatable. You can say Clippers are the second best team. Now I understand Utah's out there, Phoenix is out there, but they're not on the same level as Lakers or Clippers when everybody's healthy. So not knocking Utah. We seen Utah lose to the Wizards yesterday. I understand it's just a regular season game, but just to put things in perspective, everybody goes through injuries. I think Jordan Clarkson was out for Utah last night, but it just shows you, like, everyone is going through injuries. It's all about who's going to be the healthiest team, and the healthiest team is going to have the highest percentage chance to pursue a championship. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Lakers post-game show. I am your guy, Manny. Please follow the YouTube page. Please turn on the notification bell so that way you get content whenever I produce something. You guys stay safe. You guys be blessed. I'm out.